The problems began. He went home, and before he could say, the wife was very restless. He said, no, I've asked Shiva that we should have 2 homes. We should have 1 home. And he said, you fool, look at the neighbor. He's got 2. He said, no, wait a minute. He tells Shiva, just look, I did the penance, not my wife. She might be my better half, but still, I am the guy who struggled. Let me ask. Shiva goes, okay, you think and ask. Then he thought a lot. One negative emotion like jealousy. He said, God, if you are so pleased on me, let me lose one of my eyes. What happened to the neighbor? He said, God, if you are so pleased on me, let me lose one of my arms. Poor armless. God, if you're really pleased on me, let me lose one of my foot. Legless. Ultimately, even after doing penance, which was a good thing, even after pleasing God, which was even a better thing, even after achieving what he wanted, which was the greatest thing, he still ended up with 1 eye, 1 hand, and 1 foot. One negative emotion will possess you so much. See, negative emotions possess you. They will begin to possess you so much that you won't be able to break yourself free. So first, Krishna says, you break yourself free from these negative emotions, and once you break yourself free, then there is time. So first is empty your mind. Second is fill your mind. We shouldn't leave anything empty for long. So first is empty your mind. Second is fill your mind. Fill your mind with positive emotions. You tell me, Swami, yes, fine, I'll have all these positive emotions, but how do I get them? How do I empty the mind? How do I get positive emotions? Ultimately, positive emotions, as I said, forgiveness is more beneficial to you than the guy you forgive. The Western concept is, we are used to getting into party and people focusing on you. We always want to be the center of attraction. The Western concept is that you measure your worth by how many people love you. But the Indian concept is, we measure our worth by how many people we can love. I'll explain very surely. That the Western concept is that we measure our worth by how many people love us. But the Indian concept is that our worth is by how many people we can love. Try and understand this. Celebrities, actors, some actors, and I'm not talking about all, footballers, great celebrities, they know that millions of people love them. But why are they secretly miserable? Because they have not found a single person they can love. Your happiness depends on how many you can love, not how many love you. Seriously think about this. This is something that has also deeply moved me. That's why in the Vedas, the prarthana is mitrasya chakshusha pashyamahe. It says, oh Lord, it doesn't say, oh Lord, let all see me as a friend. He says, oh Lord, let me see everyone as my friend. Ultimately, it is not how many people see you as a friend. You are more comfortable if you see everybody as a friend. If I put you in this hall and everybody knows me, I'm not comfortable because everybody knows me. I'm comfortable because I know Sunil Bhai. I'm comfortable because I know Ramesh Bhai. I'm comfortable because I know Mukesh Bhai. I'm comfortable because I know 20 people. That gives me comfort, not 500 knowing me. So this is our different concept, mitrasya chakshusa pashyamahe. Let me see everybody as a friend. Go a step further. That if you have a positive attitude in mind and fill your mind with this positiveness, nothing will harm you. When President Kalam was president, one of his ADC, because I was quite close to him, even the ADCs were close to me, one of his ADC came and confided in me. He says, Swami, I'm thinking of getting a special job as a very well-paid job in a passenger plane as a pilot. So I want to leave the Rashtrapati Bhavan. But he didn't have a heart to tell the president. Kalam is such a nice person. So when I had hinted just to Kalam, suddenly Kalam called him. And he said, I'm not giving his name, very senior officer. He said, even I want to leave the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The first thing he told him, that man was so comfortable. He said, even I want to leave the Rashtrapati Bhavan. And my desire is that the moment I leave Rashtrapati Bhavan, I will travel as a simple passenger in the plane that you will fly. What a way to tell your person. Positive attitude. He didn't ask him why, what, him, and when you are leaders, when you are heads of your companies, change the way you talk to people. Change the way you talk to your wife and your son. Go home and try and make a difference. Change the weather of your home and your mind. You'll make a difference. When Kalam Sahib was here as Dr. Kalam just recently in Ahmedabad Mandir, and we were passing by, and in the lift we asked him, I said, we said, Dr. Kalam, why are you, how can you make yourself so energetic, so enthusiastic? Listen very quietly, how can you make yourself so energetic, enthusiastic about everything? You know what he said? Just in the time it takes the lift from first floor to come down into the first ground floor, just in that time. He said, Swami, I only think of one thing. What can I give? When I meet a child, I think, what can I give him that he'll be happy? When I meet sadhus, I feel, what can I give? I only think of what can I give. That keeps me young, and that will continue to keep me young. What a positive way. The world keeps teaching us, what can I take? We also say, what can I give, but what can I get back? Give and get back is also a theory. And I think Ahmedabadis is, what can I get? Huh? Not maybe, let another person give. But anyway, ultimately, he says, this makes him young. We were passing by and all the media people were present, they crowded him. And it's very difficult to even, straight away talk. The media people said, sir, talk to us. Kalam said, very naturally, he said, okay, first put down your cameras. Would they listen? But they do, they are also human beings. So they listened. He said, okay, put down he's like a teacher. He said, put down your pens and notebooks. All the media guys, maybe about 40 people, they crowded, they put down. He said, I want to offer you a free partnership. Anything free goes. He said, I want to offer you a free partnership. He said, what free partnership? He can become the partner in the progress of our nation. It's free, available to everybody present in this place. Become a partner in the progress of your home. Become a partner in the progress of your wife. And the wife in the progress of your husband. Don't compete. Become a partner in the progress of your child, even your bosses and even your juniors. Don't compete. Very positive environment. And then he said, somebody said, Kalam Sahib, please smile. He said, just as you have asked me to smile, make the nation smile. Make the nation smile with the pictures and the reports you give. Go home and make your family smile. Don't worry about the world, that is your world. Go home, even today, you try something in your mind when you're going out, you've got about 20 minutes before you reach home, ask forgiveness for somebody, even a 10-year-old fight or a 5-year-old fight, even 2-day-year-old fight. If you've told somebody very strongly, Sunil Bhai, pick up the phone and tell somebody. It will make you feel good. Forget about him. It makes a difference. And things do change. Just in our Ahmedabad temple, there was an old gentleman. His name is Manibhai Chawala. He has passed away. And I'll speak in his language as well. So he was there. He had come dressed from full day's work. He had come to the temple. And then he was putting his shoes on. So I asked him, Manibhai, kya jao cho? It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. Eke jange chadwa. Means for the big fight. I said, what? Eke jange chadwa. એટલે મોટા યુદ્ધ માટે. મેં કેમ અત્યારે 6 વાગે ક્યાં યુદ્ધ? એકે ઘરે જઈશું. ના સાંભળો પ્લીઝ. એકે ઘરે જઈશું. એટલે મેં કહ્યું કે એટલે શું પ્રશ્ન શું છે? એ કે આખો દિવસ અમે આખા બજારમાં તૂટ્યા અને ઘરે જઈશું ને એટલે અમારા ઘરવાળા છે ને તૈયાર થઈને બેઠા હશે કે બારે લઈ જાઓ. એ કે બારેથી તો ઘરમાં આવ્યો હું. એ કે એને એમ છે કે આખો દિવસ હું ઘરમાં પડી રહી તો મને બારે લઈ જાઓ. અને મને એમ છે આખો દિવસ હું બારે પડી રખડ્યો તો હું ઘરમાં જાઉં. એ કે તૈયાર થઈને જ બેઠા હશે એટલે યુદ્ધે ચડવા જઉં છું. મેં કહ્યું કે એમ નહીં. મેં કહ્યું કે ડુ વન થિંગ. મેં કહ્યું તમે જાઓ અને તમે કહો ચાલો બારે. એ કે પણ લઈ જશે. મેં કહ્યું વાંધો નહીં પણ તમે ચિંતા કેમ કરો છો? એ કે she will force me to go out. I said no, you go. And you say કે before she says, you say કે let's go out. અને મણિભાઈ he went home અને એને કીધું કે let's go out. She said, nah, let's stay home. It's a very simple device, I want to tell you. Very simple device. There are no big tricks in the hat. There are no big tricks. If you change, others will change. But you need to begin. When we sit in a train and everybody is new, we all are tight-lipped. We suddenly start possessing the chair. If somebody wants to put some baggage, that's not your space. But we become so possessive, we possess space, we start possessing seats. But if you sit in a train, try this. Be the first to smile. If you smile, if somebody doesn't smile, no problem. You enjoyed it. But if you are the first to smile, you will change the climate of the compartment. Don't wait for somebody else to make the move. Make the first move. So fill yourself with total positivity. It will make a big change, because ultimately, I want to tell you, don't allow the traffic lights to control the mood of your day. Don't allow the driver to dictate the way you live. And don't allow anybody else to influence you. So first, empty your mind from negativity. Fill it up with positivity. Then you will say, okay, Swami, should I fill up empty first and fill up later? No. It's a combined process. Because you'll ask so many questions, I've thought. It's a combined process, because it works through displacement. It works through the law of displacement. If I give you a glass of water, plain glass, if I throw away the water and the glass is full of air, and then I ask you, get rid of the air from here. You can't get rid of air. The only way to get rid of air is to fill it back with water. By putting in water, air is displaced. The only way you can get rid of negative emotions is by filling it with positive. There is only one way. Don't wait to get rid of negative, fill it with positive. There is no way you can get rid of darkness. The only way is to start the light. Naturally, darkness goes away. We live in a world where we say, what should I do first and what should I do second? No. You start being positive, negative will have no room. Naturally, that will go away. So that's the most important. When you smile, your face will not frown. At least be sure. You can't smile and frown together. I think that's very evil. That is very evil. But ultimately, when you start smiling, frowns will disappear. So be positive, negative will go. But beyond positive and negative, I'll just take 4-5 minutes extra. Beyond positive and negative, there is another world. Because so long as you have selfishness and ego, you will shift between positive and negative so easily. You need a spiritual attitude that is selfless beyond negative and positive. So remember, first, empty your mind. Second, fill it. And third, fulfill it. Empty it, fill it, and fulfill it. Only spirituality can fulfill the deep spaces of your mind and your heart. Nothing else. And that takes you beyond positive and negative. I'll give you an example, very simple. Otherwise, even intelligent people who have strong attitudes will begin to shift. I frankly ask you, at the end of this lecture, if I say that I have two beautiful murtis, one of Ram and one of Ravan. And I ask you that at the end of this talk, you are free to take any one murti you like. I think all of us will take back whom? Please be, I hope it's Ram. Okay? He has a huge attitude. The spiritual attitude that our nation represents is Ram. Everybody will say unanimously, Swami, when I go home, I'll take the murti of Ram. Nobody will touch Ravan. He represents evil, demon, negativity. Nobody wants to look at Ravan. But then if I make another announcement that the murti of Ram is made of wood and the murti of Ravan is made of 24 karat gold. Now tell me, what happened to your attitude? What happened to my talk? I'm just asking, what happened to this 1 hour talk? What happened? I'm just trying to tell you that ultimately, if you are not spiritually fulfilled, your attitudes will shift according to your self-interest. It is beyond negative and positive. If it's your child, even the negative will feel positive. If it's somebody else's child, his positive will feel negative. કે બહુ ભણે છે ને તો કે પછી આગળ કંઈ નહીં પત્તો પડે અને આપણો ન ભણ્યો હોય તો કે ભણ્યા વગર છે ને ક્યાં ધીરુભાઈ અંબાણી ભણ્યા હતા. Human mind is such a tricky issue that I do agree with the Western people. It's like a blind man in a dark room looking for a black cat that isn't there. But if you have a spiritual attitude, then ultimately you will go beyond selfishness and self-interest, and you will rise beyond, you will transcend. In 1992, when Pramukh Swami was in Gandhinagar, two doctors from Australia, Dr. Neville Hacker and Dr. John Monaghan, they came for Pramukh Swami's darshan. I think you probably know them. Okay, there was a huge conference here in 1992. Okay, from Australia. They came down to meet Pramukh Swami, very nice doctors. And Pramukh Swami is very natural, if you have met him, very casual, so scot-free. And he feels, you feel so transparent in his presence that one example is just come flying by into my mind. Once he was sitting in his bedroom, and I went into his room, and there were some papers lying on his bed. So I took hold of those papers. Pramukh Swami told me, "Muki de taranoi." He told me, "This is not yours, you leave them alone." They were all in English, and I know Pramukh Swami doesn't read English. મેં કહું તમને ક્યાં ખબર પડવાની છે. So I still picked up the papers, very friendly, in a very loving way, like a child and a father. And then I saw that the Guinness Book of World Record had produced a list of about 700 temples that Pramukh Swami had built around the world, and the list was there. So I asked him, Swami, તમે કેટલા મંદિર બનાવ્યા? અને ક્યાં? You know what Pramukh Swami said? Swami ke, very simple. Swami ke છે ને, જે બનાવે ને એ લિસ્ટ ના બનાવે અને જે લિસ્ટ બનાવે બનાવી ન શકે. The first thing I did is throw the papers away, at least hoping that I can make one. But still, Pramukh Swami is very natural. So when these doctors came to Swami Shri, and Swami naturally asked them, Swami ke તમે ભગવાનને પ્રાર્થના કરો છો? I think that was a wrong question to ask. And then they said, no, we don't believe in God. We believe in service to mankind. Because doctors already believe, though they get paid, they believe they are serving you. Actually, we are serving them. Go back and... But anyway, those they said, we do serve society in our own capacity, we bring people back to life, we take care, this. Swami said that, sometimes that when you are performing an operation, if you fail, and if you have belief in God, you will not become depressed. You know what they said? But Swami, we hardly fail. That's an attitude. He said, Swami, but we hardly fail. We always succeed. Then Pramukh Swami said that if you succeed all the time, if you believe in God, you won't become egoistic. He said, prayer saves you from depression, and prayer stops you from becoming arrogant. Prayer to God is necessary for the health of the mind. It's very important to keep you human, to keep you humble. Even if you go ahead, one step ahead, and then you'll find out that ultimately it's this human feeling that sees you through. When Ram, look at what I'm talking about, spiritual attitude. On the day of his coronation, it was the day of jubilation, and at the same time, the day of humiliation. When everybody was preparing for Ram's coronation in Ayodhya, suddenly he got the news that he has to be banished to the jails, jungles, and Bharat will take care of Ayodhya. Now think about the material approach and the spiritual. In the material approach, the attitude would be, we will fight for our rights. Okay, I am the rightful child of Dashrath. We'll fight for our rights. Second, if you don't work, it doesn't work, we'll confront. The third is attack. And the fourth is make sure that Bharat cannot rule in peace. Overthrow. This is the materialistic approach. But the spiritual attitude of Rama, first, he accepted his duty. Second, he respected his forefathers. Third, he absorbed the situation. And fifth, he overcame everything. Ultimately, when Ram, he goes into the forest, he carried the whole of Ayodhya with him. We do not know anything that happened in Ayodhya in those 14 years. We only know what happened in the forest. And he carries all of us to the forest every year for tens and tens of days because Ram had a spiritual attitude. Untouched by injustice, non-complaining. Even God can tolerate such injustice. Don't you complain. To make yourself so happy inside, you need to rise over everything. Not everything will be just. But if you can, it makes a big difference. And when you think of such spiritual giants, they transform you. You know Ravan? He kidnapped Sita. But he had a problem, a big predicament. He wanted to approach Sita. He kidnapped Sita for her looks, beauty. He wanted to approach Sita, but every time he went to meet Sita, Sita refused. Ram could not approach Sita. So one of his advisors told, Ravan could not approach Sita. One of his advisors told Ravan that the only way you can approach Sita, because you are empowered with magical powers, why don't you take the form of Ram? And if you take the form of Ram, then you can approach Sita. Ravan said, too bad, I tried that. He said, and what happened? He said, the moment I took the form of Ram, my lust disappeared. So it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The moment you think of great spiritual people who have great attitude, you transform naturally. During the Akshardham attack, as conclusion, during the Akshardham attack, Pramukh Swami, I could visualize because I was there whole night. I haven't heard so many gunshots, so much bloodshed. It was so horrific. It really was a big difficulty for us as well. We were grieved. But during that attack, I saw two things. The height of evil and the height of spirituality. As a neutral sadhu, I am telling you, even my emotions were running wild. Because we are also a new breed of sadhus. So even my emotions, because I was asking, why us? We haven't harmed anybody. Pramukh Swami or BAPS Sanstha has 9,000 centers around the world, more than 1 million members, 55,000 volunteers, 160 humanitarian activities, built 100 schools everywhere around the world, and not a single sadhu is aggressive or attacking. Totally peaceful, pious. I said, why us? Even now we don't know the answer. But at that time, it was all possessing our mind. First thing that Pramukh Swami told us, he said, put ice on your head. Now I'm revealing the secrets. He said, put ice on your head. Blame no one. Don't be negative. Don't think of vengeance or revenge. The first thing, and the second thing he said, means no negative emotions. He said, make sure that there is not a single stain. Because so many advisors were saying, okay, what will you turn into a small monument to remember this attack? And things like that. People come up with great things, funny things. Swami said we should not have a single sign of a bullet. We should not have a single stain. The only way we could work ahead is to open Akshardham in the next 4 days and grow over the situation. So forgive, forget, and move ahead. Then he also said that our only responsibility is to make sure that peace is maintained. That I don't believe that 2 terrorists have the power to change the course of a culture 10,000 years old. Our culture is peace. Despite invasions, our response has been peace. So we should not change. Ultimately, so first, no negative emotions. Second, full of positive. And the third, I was still sad. Though there was no negative emotions and we were full of positive emotions, I was still sad. Sitting in the corner once with a Mara, Pramukh Swami is 87. He walked and he said, "Ke aaj karwa jevu se." Mara, samborjo. Then I said, "Pan Swami, why?" He said one very nice thing. Swami ke a loka jevo છે. કૃષ્ણ ભગવાનને પણ વગર વાંકે દુઃખ આવ્યા. આપણે કોઈ જેલમાં જન્મવું પડ્યું છે? ઓકે, કૃષ્ણ ભગવાનને વગર વાંકે દુઃખ આવ્યા, ભગવાન સ્વામિનારાયણ, ભગવાન રામ બધાને વગર વાંકે દુઃખ આવ્યા છે. તમે વાંક શોધવા ના જતા અને કારણ શોધવા ના જતા. He said કે just when Akshardham was opened and you welcome the opening ceremony, the joy you felt, Swami said also welcome the sorrow, because it is all destined by God. Except if you accept sukh, you accept dukh, to sukh sukh nathi and dukh dukh nathi. You will rise beyond both if you accept both of them. So ultimately, for the stability of the mind, for the stability of the attitude, as conclusion, 4 things is, again I'm revising, attitudes are stronger than steel, but you can change them. If you so choose, you may not be able to change the world, but you can change the way you look at it. And there is no better wisdom than what Buddha gives to his disciples, borrowed from the Veda. Buddha tells his disciples that, how will you go out into the world? The disciples say that we'll go and talk to the people, but what if they don't listen? So he said, be thankful they did not abuse you. He said, what if they abuse us? He said, be thankful they did not hurt you. He said, what if they hurt us? He said, be thankful that they did not kill you. He said, what if somebody kills us? He said, be thankful they have only taken one life. You have many more to live. Only India can provide this concept of many lives. Our wisdom takes you to a positive idea that is much beyond even one life. Bhagavan Swaminarayan goes a step further. He says, those who hurt you, he says, Galidanam tadanam cha krutam kumiti mati bhirjanehi shantavyam eva sarvesham chintaniyam hitam chatehi. Those who hurt you, persecute you, injustice to you, and even abuse you, don't just pray for them, don't just forgive them, don't just be thankful, but he says, bless them. That is a positive attitude. When you have an attitude like this, not even death can bring you down. As the last message, which is very close to my heart, if you have a positive attitude that empties your mind, fills your mind, and fulfills your mind, with the help of God and this huge positivity, even death will not be able to destroy your spirit. And the example is of a little boy. He goes out into the ocean. Every day he would say that one day when I grow up, I will conquer the ocean. One day I will conquer the ocean. He's a little boy. He takes a small canoe. In a small ship, he starts rowing into the ocean. What happens? That all the waves near the shore are very small. All the fish near the shore are very small. As the boy went into the ocean, deeper and deeper, further and further, the waves became bigger and bigger. The fish became bigger and bigger. He still kept on saying that when I get to the center of the ocean, I'm going to declare to the world that I have conquered the ocean. But suddenly a huge wave came. The boat capsized, and the little boy started sinking, 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 sinking. When he came right down to the seabed, the little boy still said, I'm still going to shout at the top of my voice that I have conquered the ocean. Why? That such a mighty ocean could not support a little boy on his chest. Here I am at the bottom of the sea, supporting the whole ocean on my chest. Ultimately, if you have an attitude, nothing can defeat you. Thank you once again, and I'm so sorry that so many people have been standing. Please forgive me. Thank you very much.
Swamiji, you asked me for the watch, but let me tell you, when speakers like you come to AMA, time stops. And therefore, nobody would perhaps need a watch. Of course, I did once play a smart trick because the organizers gave me limited time, and I wanted to ensure that the chairman doesn't ring the bell. So I came without a watch, and I borrowed his watch, and he kept on listening to me, and I continued. I would invite Yatindra Bhai to have the final words. Friends, I think Swamiji has more than answered so many questions of our minds. So the final concluding remarks by our past president and my dear friend Yatindra Bhai.
Friends, I am going to take few minutes. I would request your attention and also patience for that. Pujya Swami Shri Brahmavi Haridas Ji, Shraddheya Swami Adhyatmanand Ji, Gurugan, respected elders, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a wonderful divine experience for more than 1 hour, where all of us are smiling. Because normally we have a sort of suspicion in our mind that when philosophy takes on, then we become serious and maybe we fail to understand quite some time. But this has been a unique experience, and I should say some powerful messages have been given, and I'm sure that all of us have absorbed it with a lot of enthusiasm and interest. I'll just carry forward a few messages which I feel that they are worth stressing upon. I mean, which is something which is very much relevant to our culture, why this country is sustaining and driving forward, reinventing itself time and again. I think that is the secret what has been shared to us today. As rightly said by him, your attitude is your choice. We are determinant of our own destiny by choosing a right attitude. And essentially, what he, in a very refined manner, he brought out the differences between, what you can say, choosing a right attitude with selfless emotion. I mean, that is the most important mention what he has made for human evolution and happiness. That is the ultimate determinant of human evolution and happiness. And as rightly said by him, that prayer to God keeps your mind healthy, in true sense. And well, our happiness depends on how many people we love, open to learn and experiment, and ready to act on convictions formed on this basis. That is the hallmark of healthy mind, what he has brought out, very, very relevant. And it is unique catalyst. The healthy mind is unique catalyst to define dynamic chemistry of mana, buddhi, chitta and ahankar for you. It is a gift to us this evening. It is a wonderful gift to us. And friends, it gives you a blissful mind to create your positive attitude and identity. The desired stability of mind to lead you towards amazing achievements and eternal happiness for you and society. I think that is the message what he has given, and it is very valuable message to all of us. For that, on behalf of all of you, I would like to thank Swamiji for such a wonderful presentation, and I would request all of you, to express our gratitude and thanks, to give him a big round of applause. And as a token of appreciation and our love, I would request Mukesh Bhai to offer a small gift. And in all, I would like to thank you all for being a wonderful participant in this exploration of happiness and love. Thank you very much.